It's the number one. It is hands down the best way to convert traffic, in my opinion. As long as you know how to use, you know how to write a good email, and you know the intervals, and you have a little bit of experience. You give value. Email, hands down, I think is the unsung hero of digital marketing. Everybody has gotten so fancy with all of these new shiny objects and all but abandon email. But the proof is there. It's undeniable. Email converts at a much higher rate, and there's a much higher ROI with an email than any other medium. Better than Facebook, better than Google, better than texting, better than chatbots. It's just hands down the best ROI, because if you get the right email, and they got to have a good data partner to get the emails from, but once you get it, you can market to them forever for free. It costs you nothing.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Designer Future podcast. I've got a very special guest on today. Justin, please go ahead, introduce yourself for me.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Matheis here, all the way from Dallas, Texas, and super excited to be on the show with you. Thank you so much. I know you're busy, and you could have had anybody in the world, but you chose me, and I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on. So firstly, just obviously introduce yourself a little bit about what you're sort of doing at the moment, and then we can get a little bit into how you've got to where you are today.
All right. So right now what we do, we've got several projects going on. We're a digital marketing agency. Surefire Digital Media is the company. Probably our biggest project to date right now is our marketing automation platform that we've recently developed called the Lead Genie. Prior to that, we've focused on digital marketing, social media marketing, brand management, Google Ads, inbound lead generation. And we work with a wide range of industries, but we really specialize working with the insurance world, primarily because that's my background, and my business partner's background is also in the insurance world.
Oh, wicked. Cool. So when did you sort of transition from actually like working within the industry to then sort of thinking, okay, so we can actually solve a specific problem within this industry and actually have it work for us rather than the way around?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and I get asked all the time. So, it was never a plan actually to get into the marketing side. When I was selling insurance, I was actually one of the top 5 in the country for one of the largest insurers in America, Liberty Mutual. When I first started there, I was the Rookie of the Year, outsold 1,500 different rookie agents that year. And so I was number 2 in Texas and number 5 in the country, and I was the top rookie. So absolutely just crushed it. Before I did that, I was with State Farm for 3 years. And at the time, I bled blue, like Liberty Mutual blue was in my blood. I was going to retire there. That was my thing. And one of the things that I did was, I was innovative, obviously. I thought outside the box. I started generating my own leads. I learned how to market online. And that was one of the things that really helped, propel me, was the fact that I wasn't having to rely on the same lead providers in the same archaic ways everybody else was doing things. As part of that, one of the things that I would do is live events, and I would host business networking events, and hundreds of people would come out, because as an insurance agent, you got to shake hands and meet people. And at the end of the day, if people don't know who you are, they can't buy from you, right? So I would host these big networking events. And I got the idea because a lot of my referral partners were in the real estate world. And so there, in 2011 and 12, there was this show that got really popular called $1 Million Listing. And I actually had the idea of like, what if I could get one of these guys to come to my event and do a meet and greet? I bet I could get every realtor in Dallas to come here. So long story short, I had my first event, and we'd had Madison Hildebrand from $1 Million Listing Los Angeles come out, did a meet and greet with him. It was a phenomenal success, and ended up doing that with every cast member. Then we started going around the country with it. We took it to New York. We went to California several times. Then I started teaching these guys how to set up masterminds and monetize their fan base. And so I had a business that started out of this. Well, the company I was working for, Liberty Mutual, did not like that. They were like, hey, you can't have another business and do this. It's part of your contract. So you're gonna have to pick one. And ultimately, I was like, how often do you get a chance to work with reality TV stars and travel the world and do speaking engagements? So I was like, you know what? I'll just do that. I'll go with that. And then in doing that, I realized that this is only going to be as long as this TV show is relevant. Once the TV show isn't relevant, that thing goes away. So that's where I came up with the idea of, I obviously have something and understand how to do something that most insurance agents don't know how to do. So I started a coaching program and the marketing agency for insurance agents. And I've been doing that ever since.
Wicked. Cool. That's amazing. And I love the fact that you actually worked within the industry you're now serving. So what sort of motivates you moving forward now that you're in the position you're in? What sort of gets you out of bed every single day and continuing working on those goals?
Man, it's just the entrepreneurship at all, just as a whole. The fact that, every day is a new challenge. At this point, I'm not financially motivated. I'm not, I don't have sales goals that I set. I used to be very rigid when I was in the insurance world. If I want to sell 50 policies this week and I want to do 100,000 of premium or whatever. But I don't want to say past that, but those things don't excite me anymore. At some point, money it's money. It is what it is. So now it's really the challenge of what can I create? Like, I'm a creator. So what problems can I solve? What problems can I see in the industry? And how can I solve them better than the next guy? And then going to work and doing that, which is ultimately what the Lead Genie was. There's plenty of platforms out there, from Marketo to SharpSpring, Active Campaign, High Level. There's just tons of them, right? And so I found a niche within that space of, here's something that nobody else is doing. Let's do it this way. And really just that creative, I think it's that creative drive that keeps me going, to find something new, something innovative, bring it to market and watch it come to life.
Nice. Perfect. And as a creator, do you feel like you're always searching for that next project?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm exactly the same. So with that being said, running an online business now, what would be, let's give it 2 apps that if I was to come and take those apps away from you, whether that be productivity, on your iPhone, on your computer, 2 applications that you sort of use on a day-to-day basis that if I was to take away from you, you'd really struggle, or that would at least hinder you a little bit?
No, Stripe. Stripe is a pretty important one. That's where all my money comes through. Aside from Stripe, there's just so many things out there these days, that there's some things that would hurt. I like lead pages. I use lead pages a lot to make landing pages. That makes life a lot easier. In terms of the automation, I used to use Active Campaign, but obviously now I built my own. So I think if you're creative enough, there's not really any one thing that could, if you're doing things, right, there's no one thing that should be able to take you down. Mm-hmm. I'm always surveying the market. I know what's out there. There's other alternatives. There's a million ways to get just about anything done these days with technology. It would hurt to lose GoToWebinar. I've got thousands of webinars there. That would hurt. But there's Zoom, and there's more content I could record. So I would just keep moving.
Wicked. Great to hear. So let me just paint you a little picture, right? Let's imagine that a young entrepreneur has went onto their laptop or their phone and they've typed in how to make money online, right? And this is the first video they've seen, right? We'll keep it very basic. Let's imagine this is the first video they've seen and they're inspired by your story and what we've spoke about so far. What would be like your number one resource in some sort of training or a book that you sort of read? Maybe it's on mindset, or it's actually about a particular business model. Where would you sort of say would be a good starting point for someone?
Oh man, the first thing I would do is caution you because there's so many people out there that are just looking to make a buck. I can't tell you how much money I've wasted making mistakes to learn. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in masterminds learning the craft, perfecting it. If there was one thing that you could do is, try to just absorb as much as you can. Be wary of who it is that you are buying from. Do some background on that individual. Let's look at ClickFunnels, for example. Russell Brunson, like he's got a long track record of success. He's got tens of thousands of customers that have used his product and done well with it, right? So I would say do your research, because there's so many good. I'm learning new things all the time. I just found a video software that is interactive video software where you can actually click and interact with the video without having to go to a landing page. You can click buttons right within. I mean, there's just so much new stuff out there all the time. But I'm also willing to lose money. I'm willing to take a chance on something that doesn't work out. On the same note, I bought something from Russell Brunson the other day, which I felt like was shit. I spent $7 on it and I got a piece of paper. But the landing page was awesome. Good job, Russ. It happens. You're going to buy some stuff that's not going to work out. But trial and error, really, there's a lot of free stuff out there too, by the way. So, absorb as much free stuff as you can. If you can go to somebody's site and they give away some free information that you can test out and you can see even a nominal result, then obviously if they're selling you something, you're going to get a better result from what they're selling you. So most of your marketers are going to give you some free stuff. It's not going to give you, make you millions of dollars, because obviously it's free. But if somebody's willing to give you good value that you can turn into cash or turn into results, even with the most basic of level of understanding that you have. If, for instance, you go to Facebook or YouTube and you say, hey, how do I get more likes? And somebody does a video walkthrough and shows you how to go in and get more targeted likes on your page. You do it and it works. Okay, great. That person may have something that's $9 that tells you how to get a few more likes or something like that. So start small, start free. Don't be afraid to test and just kind of learn from there. And join groups and really just check the background of the people that you're buying from. Don't let the sales page get you, because the sales page will get you. Make sure you do a little bit of research. Don't get caught in the moment. Just do some research.
Perfect. Yeah. And yeah, guys, that is the main thing that I always talk about: coaches, courses, etc., etc. Every coach or mentor that I've ever invested into, I've watched every single one of their free content. I've absolutely milked every single piece of free content before you then invest into them, because you know and trust them, right? So you've actually just sort of like pretty much answered one of my questions, but I want to sort of jump back into it. And that question is, do you use ClickFunnels? You just told me you use lead pages. So maybe a little comparison between the two, or why you use lead pages over ClickFunnels would be good.
I'm an affiliate for lead pages, and they would hate me for saying this. I probably think ClickFunnels is a superior platform.
I say the exact same thing, because I use lead pages as well. But it's sort of like, obviously I don't want to cut you in, but it's like, I feel like ClickFunnels is definitely a better platform, but I feel like it's almost too good for what I feel like there's too many options in there.
Exactly. It's too, in my opinion, it's too expensive. For a beginner. It is. It's going to overwhelm you. You're not. It's great for an advanced platform. It's great for somebody like myself or like yourself. But by the time you or I, I've got 400 landing pages and lead pages. I'm not moving that to Click. It's not worth it, right? I'm already in, and it does what I need it to do. There's some fancy stuff that ClickFunnels does, but there's things that lead pages does that ClickFunnels doesn't do, right? So you just got to weigh your options, and I like the ease of use. And when you get a system like ClickFunnels or lead pages, you want it to be quick and easy, right? Otherwise you're going to need a developer. And the whole point is to make it quick and easy. And if you have to spend hours or weeks or months learning a platform, you've defeated the purpose of having an easy to use platform.
Correct. Yeah. And they just added literally yesterday, I think, like the recurring payment thing on lead pages as well, which like checked off a big thing for me. The next thing I'd like to ask is, do you use cold emails at all, whether that's for the business itself or the affiliate side of things?
All the time. It's the number one. It is hands down the best way to convert traffic, in my opinion. As long as you know how to use, how to write a good email, and you know the intervals, and you have a little bit of experience, you give value. Email, hands down, I think is the unsung hero of digital marketing. Everybody has gotten so fancy with all of these new shiny objects and all but abandon email. But the proof is there. It's undeniable. Email converts at a much higher rate, and there's a much higher ROI with an email than any other medium. Better than Facebook, better than Google, better than texting, better than chatbots. It's just hands down the best ROI, because if you get the right email, and you got to have a good data partner to get the emails from, but once you get it, you can market to them forever for free. It costs you nothing. And eventually, it's all about frequency, right? You have to hit people a certain number of times, and the more they see you, curiosity will eventually get them. You're going to get the click, and then you're going to get the conversion. And you don't have to pay every time they see it. You don't have to pay every impression like you're going to have to pay with Facebook and to retarget them. And just real quick, I did a quick case study against Facebook and our email marketing campaigns. With Facebook, let's say you have an audience of 5,000 people that are in your target audience, right? And you get 500 of them to click to your landing page, and you get 50 people to buy your thing or to opt in, right? That's great. You know who the 50 are, but you don't know who the 5,000 that saw it. You don't know who the 500 that clicked were. By comparison, if you had those 5,000 people in an email list, you know exactly who they are, you know who opened, you know who clicked, and you can better retarget and send new campaigns to those people. But with Facebook, you don't know who they are. You're blindly running retargeting ads and hoping that they're going to get it back to them. And you got to keep paying and paying and paying and paying, and it gets expensive.
I like that. And I've never really thought of it in that sense as well, that you don't really know until you've only got like the handful of people that actually fill out the like lead gen forms or whatever. That's really cool, man. So with everything being said, how you've sort of got on your journey and stuff, what would be like your number one tip for a newbie when it comes into social media, whether they're trying to make money or they're trying to grow a brand, or trying to outsource their sort of social media presence as well? So I know you talked about the marketing as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be careful outsourcing. I think even if you don't plan to be a marketer by trade, if you own a business or you're going to rely on digital marketing, I think you need to do yourself a favor, invest and learn, because unfortunately, it is a very grimy industry, for lack of a better term. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of fake. There's a lot of people who failed at their job and they decided to become a social media marketer. And, there's so much free content. There's a whole thing called Facebook Blueprint. Facebook will tell you everything you ever need to know, absolutely free, that nobody uses or even knows about. Learn, so that way when these marketers come in here and try to use these big $10 words and try to make their job sound very confusing, to let you just say, okay, and give you these fancy. You want to be able to have an intelligent conversation so that you can vet who it is that you are going to hire. So I always say, learn your craft first. Whether you decide you're going to do it or not, you may hate marketing. You may fall in love with it. That's what happened with me. I never thought I'd be a marketer. I fell in love with marketing. It was awesome. I loved it. It was just very interesting to me. So learn it. That way you can vet who you're going to hire. And just understand it's always changing. If you are a business owner, I think, and your thing is, selling pizzas, don't try to be a marketer and lose sight that you're selling pizza. Just learn marketing so that you can sell more pizzas, but that you can help this marketer do their job better. Rather than, if this marketer's never sold a pizza, nobody knows your business better than you. So if you know your business and you can speak in their language too to help them, and you guys can co-create a strategy, you're going to absolutely kill it. But if you go into it ignorant, you're going to get burned many, many times before you find an honest guy that's going to be able to help you out.
Perfect. It makes complete sense. So one thing you mentioned to me is you're an affiliate for Lead Pages. For the last couple of minutes, I'd really love to find out a little bit more about, one, some other things that you're an affiliate for, and two, how do you sort of market these affiliates? So, because I know a lot of people come to me and they ask, oh, okay, I want to do affiliate marketing, but they don't really understand how they can create content around that product. So how do you sort of have certain things in place with certain affiliate schemes?
Yeah, that's a good one. So first and foremost, really, there's three different ways to approach your affiliate marketing, right? You can be a pay-per-click person, have no relationship with the company. You're incognito behind the scenes. You're just driving cold traffic and you're converting off a link, right? That's one way. Another way is to be an influencer, right? You're an expert in an industry, for like myself in insurance, right? So I have people who come to me because I'm an insurance marketing expert. So now I can be an affiliate for platforms like Lead Pages, and I can teach people how to drive leads and say, hey, you need a landing page system. Here's the one you should get. Boom, you make an affiliate commission there. But in doing that, you put your name on that product. So you need to know that product's there. You need to know that it's going to be around. You need to know that they're going to have support, because at the end of the day, if your name is attached to it, they're coming back to you because you recommended it and you sold it. So you want to make sure you partner with good people that pay on time, that can track what's going on, right? They're going to be upfront with their reporting. You never want to go on an honor system. Be very wary of new affiliate opportunities out there. Me personally, I like to use what it is that I promote, right? If I haven't used it, I won't promote it because I don't know what it's going to do. So I'll use it first. I'll know what the applications are, and then I'll figure out who can this benefit. And really, it should be the person that you sell it to or you recommend the product to should benefit more than you. Like somebody that gets Lead Pages through my affiliate, they're going to benefit far more than I will from whatever measly commission it is. I don't even know what I make on it. It comes in the mail, whatever it is, what it is. But I have links that I can share them. I can give them free landing pages. There's a lot more value that I can give versus somebody behind who just has an ad and you buy it. And now you have a platform you know nothing to do with. So I support my affiliates. If I sell you Lead Pages, I'll offer you a free coaching session and say, hey, if you buy this, I will help you set up your first landing page. I will do this, that, and the other thing to make sure you're successful. Because ultimately, I want you to use it because I'll get paid more the more you use it, right? So you want somebody who's going to support their product. Ask them how they're using it, right? You want to find that out. And then the way I vet it out is to figure out, can I use it in my business first? I think those have been the biggest successful affiliate opportunities that I've been part of is, can I use it for me so that I can have case study and I can be able to say, hey, here's what I did with it, because your story will sell a product better than anything else. So if you can say, hey, I use Lead Pages, I built this funnel and I did this, that's going to sell it better than anything Lead Pages has to offer on their sales page. Same thing with anything else. Another one that I recommend is Marketing Boost. It's a fast growing program. I know the owners, Andy and Marco. It's a great program. They give away incentive vacations. So it really helps you to be able to get more people to your offers. Helps you avoid, having to price discount, right? So if instead of me having to discount my price, I can say, hey, I'm going to give you a 3-day, 4-night trip to Vegas when you buy this deal. So, you get a 7-day trial at Marketing Boost trial there. That's a great one. But again, when I looked at that, it's like something I could use in my business. I didn't buy it to be an affiliate, but once I saw it, I said, okay, this is something I want to share with my clients. Hey, now you should do this. And so it's basically just, looking at how I can benefit myself, grow my own business. If it makes sense for me, then it's going to make sense for other people who do what I do. Join a Facebook group and share it. It's super easy.
Nice, cool. So also one of the main things that you touched on is like joining Facebook groups, providing value and stuff like that. So what has been your experience over the years with Facebook groups?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you how much money I made from Facebook groups. A lot. I've got a group called the Insurance Hustle. We've got over 5,000 insurance agents in there. Listen, if you can build a group, build an audience, number one, you're going to build yourself brand authority. You've got a captive audience of prospects. When you post in a group, everybody in that group gets a notification that somebody just posted in that group. So if I've got 5,000 insurance agents and I post a link to this podcast, every one of them are going to know Sean Matheis just posted a link to this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's a great way, and people check those notifications. They don't like the little red button. Psychologically, it's there for a reason. It's a very powerful tool. So if you can get something like that, and then from time to time, they'll have Facebook messages. It seems to come and go, but if you can blast a message, you got to be careful with that. But if you can send everybody a message, start watch videos, there's just so much. And from what I understand, Facebook is coming up with targeted audiences for admins of groups, where you'll actually be able to use that your members as a custom audience and target ads to those people. Don't know when that's coming. Heard it was in the UK first, but we'll see. But yeah, it's a great way to have a captive audience and not have to clutter your news feed, because there's obviously stuff that you want to post. Like I'm involved in cryptocurrency, so instead of boring people with my cryptocurrency, let me start a group of people. Hey, if you're interested in crypto, join the group. Hey, interested in real estate, join the group. That way you can post more content without flooding it, without Facebook shutting you down, without being a nuisance or getting unfriended. And it's just a great place to build community. I highly, highly recommend groups.
Nice, man. Perfect. Thank you very much. So one thing I'd really like to get to at the end of this is just talking about teams and outsourcing. Because, you're going to get a lot of people that are watching this video and they're like your solo entrepreneurs. And I know a lot of people that I speak to that do like coaching with me as well, is they really find it hard to what we call like let go of control. So if they've been doing their service, or they've been going out and getting clients and then fulfilling the service, of course, we all know that you need to have a team or something behind you to actually be able to scale the business, right? So what does your sort of business look like in terms of your team or structure when it comes to fulfillment side of things?
Yeah, so you do have to have a team. You can choose to outsource. There's obviously risk and additional expenses with that. That's its own deal. The first thing that I did was I got out of my home. I started, like many, in the home. And, when I realized that, hey, I want to build a team. Listen, I'm not going to build a team operating from my home. It's not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to have my employees come to my kitchen table. So when I decided I want to grow a team, I had to get an office. It was an unnecessary expense at the time because I didn't have any employees. Sure. But I found a place and I got it. And the old movie, I don't know if you're old enough to know Field of Dreams, but if you build it, they will come, right? And so now I just upgraded. I'm in a much larger office than I need. I've got 6 offices, a huge conference area for a bullpen. We're on the corner, top corner office. Like, I went way bigger than I need, but
build it and they'll come.
I want to build it. I want to build a team, and if I'm going to hire good people want to come to a place that's nice. They want to feel confident in the place that they work. And so in order to scale, you got to be willing to invest, and then understand that your employees aren't an expense. They're an investment. They should make you money. Every position that you have should make you money, and just be smart about how you structure it. So, the first thing, and be willing to work long hours. I work 16, 17 hours a day. And sometimes you have to do that in order to build up the cash flow so that you can then have that next salary position. So, first thing you would do is hire a salesperson so you can get more orders. Even if you're the only fulfillment, you're doing some sales, now hire a salesperson to sell more. Spend 20 hours a day working if you have to. Build up that cash. Now you've got somebody who you can then hire and help you fulfill, and just be willing to put in the work. Otherwise, you're going to be a solopreneur forever. And that's fine if you're happy with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I did it for 3 years. It's totally up to you and how happy that makes you. But if you want to scale, got to be willing to work long hours. It's going to suck sometimes. And you're going to have to be willing to pay people.
Wicked, man. Thank you. That's perfect. Perfect. So obviously the podcast is called Design a Future. It's all around entrepreneurs taking that action and essentially making moves online. So with that sort of being said, if we was to have this conversation exactly a year from now, where would you sort of like yourself to be? Not necessarily financially, like you said, money is just a tool, right? So emotionally, happy, like within your happiness as well, like where are you going to be in a year's time? Or where would you like to be?
That's a good one. I need a bigger team. The 17-hour days are killing me. They're killing me. But I love what I do. You know what I mean? I could easily not take on clients, and we're doing fine financially. And but I would like to find the thing about the digital world and affiliate marketing and marketing agencies. It's a very specialized skill. It's not McDonald's, and you can't just hire somebody off the street, and it takes time. So I'd like to have somebody, at least one or two people in fulfillment that can do a good job, so that I can enjoy the fruits of some of the labor that we've been putting in. Because admittedly, I don't have a good work-life balance. Like I just don't. Today I'll get off today at 1 because I'm going to have my kids this weekend. But it'll be the first time that I've been home before 11 o'clock all week. So that's not healthy. It's not I wouldn't recommend it for the average person. It takes its toll. But when you have goals and there's things that you want to accomplish, you do what you got to do. So in a year's time, I want some work-life balance. I want to have a little bit of a maybe 2-3 more employees, so I can kind of sit back a little bit and relax.
Wicked. Well, hopefully we can catch up in a year's time and sort of check those goals off together, man. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm sure we'll speak soon.
Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
No problem, man. Take care.
Hollywood 6.